It's just a stream. I think I can stream. No. I was gonna say a short stream, but no, it's just gonna be a stream. My bad. Oh fuck. Will he perform when he has money right in front of him? Will he perform when he has money right in front of him? I've not played with this new fucking thing. The only thing I know is Finger Eyes. It's in Space Ripper is the eye lasers. Will he perform when he has money on? There's no running like this is so not Sigma. This is really Sigma. This is really on Sigma, in my opinion. Like this is so not really become a Sigma male and like a mom and yada yada. Oh my god, these are so not Sigma. You're not so not Sigma. Oh, that motherfucker. You have never seen it today. Oh. Oh, no, I gotta go. I'm mewing. So there's no way, doesn't. Yeah, no, this shit is just gonna be right now. They're gonna hear me say, I'm not Sigma. Oh, that's nice. Fuck this shit. Oh no. La dee da dee da, la dee da dee dee, la dee na, and it's all that too. Shit, that might be taken down. Copyright! Am I? Sometimes I just said, yeah, copyright. Yeah, that's what I mean. Copyright doesn't affect me. I won't get take us down, but I'm sorry. But I'm sure I'm getting enough for that. Oh, that's cool. Down. Okay. I'm edging in Ohio. I'm a Sigma, actually. I'm a Sigma here. You're the potato. Oh my god, Sorry guys, wait a minute. Someone's dead. Kill the nigga. He's dead. Oh shit, I'm trying to rickroll them. Dash. What? Oh my fucking god. I don't feel Sigma. I'm so Sigma. Got it! No. I'm not just gonna let them get away with this. The way they let me be, the Sigma. They didn't let me edge in Ohio, as the kids would say it. They didn't let me go to Skibbity. Let me Skibbity my toilet. Let's Skibbity toilet together. Let's edge in Ohio. This is not so popular. Just wow. Oh no! So you like say, oh my god. I just took it and I gloomed. How about you stand on it? Stand on it. Stand on it. Stand on it. Right now. Right now, buddy. Soda. What the Sigma? Actually, you're not good in Ohio. Chad, I feel so cringe saying that. Like saying, you're not good in. You're not Sigma. I'm the one who, I'm the Sigma here. Like, Chad, that, you don't know how, like, I'm alpha male giga chat. You don't know how I do. What do you mean it's not clean, Paris? So why she going my bathroom in the first place? She's my bathroom twice. You know how weird it is? Oh man, a female is going into our restroom. Like, that's weird, man. Don't you? Okay, why are you using our bathroom then? Why don't you use our bathroom? Hi, buddy. Hi, Sigma. Hey, guys. Sigma here. Good day, one. Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
I win, right, John? I felt it so
Oh god, this brings back so many Sigma memories, right, chat? This is so Sigma. Wonder a hole. Not doing that.
all you had to do was stay overnight at school for 5 days straight. The catch? You couldn't leave campus for anything. Eat there, sleep there, live there. No one thought anyone would actually try it. The staff just used it as a way to scare the visual memories. But then the important part. He was a kid everyone thought he didn't care. And when he heard the joke, Jordan strolled in with a sleeping bag and snacks, waving at everyone like he was on vacation. By day 3, he was sliding on the desk. His eyes were bloodshot, but he didn't quit. Teachers thought he'd give up, but he held strong. By day 5, Jordan was practically a zombie, shuffling down the halls in a daze. Rumors spread about him sneaking out at night, but no one believed it. He somehow stuck it out. When the week finally ended, Jordan looked at the front, but he had made it. Guess what? The rule was real. They let him skip every single week. With that, they quietly changed the rules. No one wanted to deal with another Jordan. At my school, there was this crazy rule. If you wanted to skip the entire final week of exams, all you had to do was stay overnight at school for 5 days straight. The catch? You couldn't leave campus for anything. Eat there, sleep there, live there. No one thought anyone would actually try it. The staff just used it.
As a teacher, what was the biggest lie you've heard a student say? I've been teaching for nearly 20 years, and my favorite lie still comes from when I was a brand new teacher. A student showed up to class with his hand bandaged and a doctor's note in hand. He claimed, last night my computer blew up and the shrapnel entered my hand, so I couldn't finish the homework assignment that was due today. I glanced at
Let's look at this.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Guys.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
What the fuck?
What was that?
Let's look at this.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Big telephone. Big group.
What was that?
To use a voice changer in Valorant. Wait, which voice? First, download Voice AI and set this as your default mic in game. Open Voice AI, select one of the many realistic voices, and turn on the voice changer.
Didn't expect my hot loads in your mouth, did you now?
How to use a voice changer. Only only thing on your schedule. Skin pop. Only simple ingredients. Only thing on your schedule. Skinny pop. Only simple ingredients. Only thing on your schedule.
Wow, what's up? SR!
領域展開無料の編集
무기가 너무 들어가는 구나. 미스.
純々のそれぞれのコマンドで生成された仮想の質量を押し出す挙式
I refuse to make my half-sister look better on her wedding day by showing up. I'm 19, and my half-sister is 9 years older than me. We share a mom, but she's never accepted me as her sister. She's always made it clear that I'm not part of her life. When I was 6, our brother was stillborn, and I was devastated. But instead of comforting me, she told me to grow up and said it was a shame I wasn't the one who died. As I grew older, her rejection only intensified. She would call my dad hurtful names, saying he was just my mother's F-buddy. She would say this to his face in front of other people, and he would just let it slide. My mom would try to intervene, saying we're a family, but my half-sister would just say she's family, but my dad and I are not. The breaking point came when I was 10. She stayed with a different family member for Christmas, but showed up to our grandparents' house for Christmas Day celebrations. I was excited to see her, thinking maybe she had changed her mind about me, but after I tried talking to her, she turned on me, saying she didn't care about me or my life. She called me pathetic and said she wished I was never born. I realized I didn't need someone like her in my life. I distanced myself from her, and we've only seen each other maybe 3 times in the past 7 years. And now she's getting married and wants me to attend? I refuse. My boyfriend wants to move in together after I caught him secretly reconnecting with his ex. We've been together for 3 years, and everyone thought we'd get married soon. I used to think so too, until everything fell apart in one night. It started when I noticed him secretly texting when he thought I was asleep. Suspicious, I immediately grabbed his phone to check and discovered the heartbreaking truth. He was still in intimate contact with his ex, even arranging private meetups. When I confronted him, he not only denied it, but turned it around and accused me of invading his privacy. We had a fierce argument. He shouted and smashed things around the house. I'd never seen him lose control like that. Just as I was about to leave, he suddenly fell to his knees, crying and begging for forgiveness. He promised to cut off all contact with his ex and suggested we move in together right away to prove his love. In a moment of confusion and emotion, I agreed. Now I'm utterly perplexed. Part of me still loves him and wants to believe everything will be okay. But another part is scared and doubtful. I'm afraid that moving in together will only make it harder for me to leave if he continues to deceive me.
Dad, why is Mom mad at you? I don't know, son. She seems pretty upset. Did you cheat on her? Why would you think that? I love your mother to death. Then what happened? She just yelled at me. Something about having negative Riz. And that's why she's not in love with me. That's tough, Dad. Sorry to hear. What does Riz even mean? It means charisma. And charisma is what brings all the huss. You're not helping. Explain. Okay, Dad. Basically, Mom is saying you're not him. And you scare her away. Son, I still don't understand. I am a him. I'm not a monster. No, Dad. This is why Mom is upset. She just wants you to be a better man to her. To make her fall in love with you again. I see what you're saying. But how do I still gain Riz? Just be confident. Walk into a room like you're the boss. Be an alpha male. And make sure you dress nice to up your drip. Drip? Just more stylish. Okay, sounds about right. Are you sure about all this? I'm speaking facts, Dad. Do all this and Mom will love you again. Son! I just tried everything you said with your mother. And what happened? She dropped my drawers right there. We had a blast. Okay, Dad. I'm happy it worked. But you don't have to elaborate that deep. My Riz game is positive now. Yes, it is, Dad. I'm going out to the bar tonight. Gotta keep up in my Riz. Wait, Dad.
Mason, did you know about your father going to the bar?
Not really. Why?
Your father got arrested. He slammed all the guys there. Because he took all the women to the private lounge. How could he leave me for those bar skanks?
What a legend. Dad, why is Mom mad at you? I don't know, son. She's...
What illegal thing did you do on a regular basis until you got caught? When I was in college, parking was $500 per semester, which I couldn't afford. I simply went to class each day until I got a parking ticket. I went online, paid the $50 fine, but kept the ticket. Every time I would park on campus, I would toss the ticket out onto my windshield so that the parking police thought I was already ticketed. This worked for 2 years, $1,000 worth of parking for $400, and then I came out of class one day with 5 tickets and felt that sad, and I strutted. What illegal thing did you do on a regular basis until you got caught? When I was in college, parking was $500 per semester, which I couldn't afford. I simply went to class each day until I got a parking ticket. I went online, paid the $50 fine, but kept the ticket. Every time I would park on campus, I would toss the ticket out onto my windshield so that the parking police thought I was...
I know what Robert was, Travis. This is one who told me to go
I hate my wife's homemade gifts. My wife preferred to make her own gifts for people for birthdays and Christmas. She's got the skills to do it, but she doesn't do that for anyone opens or sends. Every gift I've received from her for the past few years was something she made herself. I appreciate the effort, but it's not easy. Schemes for other things. Instead, I've given her a link to the products. I've made sure that things are cheap. defense, like gifts. She's ignored it every time and done it. On her birthday yesterday, I asked her for $25 and I gave her fabric bookmarks. I prefer wood ones. She knows this. I sighed and told her that I didn't want the gift. My wife reacted like I'd stabbed her in the heart. I said that I told her what I wanted and she just ignored me. Then I took my keys and went out to buy the book at the store by myself. When I came home, my wife was crying and started a fight with me, calling me an ungrateful jerk. I told her it's her own fault. She should try listening to what people want for a change rather than doing whatever she wants. I don't care how much effort she puts in. I don't want her random crap. I hate my wife's homemade gifts. My wife prefers to make her own gifts for people for birthdays and Christmas. She's got the skill to do it, but she does it no matter what anyone wants or says. Every gift I've received from
I really want to keep this website.
How does it feel to get slapped by a family member? My mom used to slap me until I turned 15. She did it often, especially since she was my teacher in 6th grade and couldn't discipline the other students, so I bore the brunt of her anger. Strangely enough, she never laid a hand on my younger brother, just me. She would do it in public, humiliating me. It was a joke. She would say, Jimmy, I will slap you. Let's try everything. If I tried to deflect and avoid her blow, she would call me and say, if you're all let her slap you. You're just a goddamn kid. She once tried to slap me, but she ordered me to my room. If I didn't feed my dog, he wouldn't eat. She hated my dog. I went ahead and fed him. When I came inside, she tried to slap me. I grabbed and held her wrist and just stared at her. That night, my father was at a Lions Club meeting. She just stared back and never tried again. The whole point of slapping was to humiliate the victim. Sure, it hurt and stung like hell for an hour or so and administered by an expert later. But the main intent was to establish dominance. How does it feel?
This mother fox raised 3 baby bunnies, but one day while hunting, she accidentally scared them by showing her sharp teeth. The babies quickly hid behind Daddy Fox. Seeing this, she tried to comfort them while Daddy Fox went off to hunt the squirrel. Scare her babies. She spent the whole day playing with the baby rabbits, which made Daddy Fox angry as she paid no attention to him. In his frustration, he decided to eat the bunnies, but Mommy Fox jumps into the ground. Furious, Daddy Fox left to get the milk, leaving Mommy Fox to care for the bunnies alone. But one night, Mommy Fox was very hungry, and her babies started to look like tempting meals to her, but she couldn't bear to eat them. Later, she took the bunnies to a farm to steal food for them, but while they were enjoying the meal, something spotted them. Mommy Fox witnessed the bunnies with Mommy Fox chased the bunnies away because he was unable to this babies to comfort them while Daddy Fox went off to the school for her. When he returned, she noticed a woman experiencing scare her babies. She spent the whole day playing with the baby rabbits, which made Daddy Fox angry as she paid no attention to him. In his frustration, he decided to eat the bunnies. Mommy Fox won, so furious, Daddy Fox left to get the milk, leaving Mommy Fox to care for the bunnies. Mommy Fox was very hungry, and her babies started to look like tempting meals to her, but she couldn't bear to eat them. Later, she took the bunnies to the escape, but when they returned home, Mommy Fox chased the bunnies away as he's unable to control her hunger, and everyone in class gets excited that a new girl is transferring to their class. And after seeing her, everyone regretted their mistake. This is Natalia, and she is a vampire.
I'm not taking my sneakers off. I am sneakers on tool. I'm not taking my sneakers off. I am sneakers on tool.
Later, Natalia doesn't know how to do math and asks Dante for his help. Dante thinks she knows who he is, so he asks Natalia to talk in private. Natalia thinks he has just fallen in love with her at first sight and wants to confess. Outside, Dante stands in the sunlight, thinking that as a vampire, she will not attack him there. But Natalia steps into the sunlight and tells Dante she accepts.
Real quick. This is the item asylum voting trading page. So, vote in item asylum, you gotta push a bunch of like 3 buttons on the ground.
Hug her and gestures for him to stop, saying it's too early for that. Unfortunately, Dante gets defeated and rejected at the same time. Later, Dante wakes up in her room, and Natalia tells him she is a vampire. Natalia's family welcome him into the family. Everyone in class gets excited that
Why did my husband's open marriage idea backfire? When my husband asked for an open marriage, I was crushed. It wasn't about spicing things up for me. It felt like he was saying I wasn't enough. Still, Still terrified of losing him, I reluctantly agreed. From the beginning, he was thrilled. He dove into dating, going out constantly, while I stayed behind, broken and lonely. I didn't date for months, thinking there was no way I could compete, but my sister and best friend urged me to try. When I finally did, I was surprised by the attention I received. Men were interested, and I started dating 2 of them regularly. As I found confidence and joy in these new relationships, my husband's excitement faded. His dating life slowed down, and soon he was home more often, complaining about spending money on women who only wanted emotional connection. Meanwhile, I was home, living the life he had imagined for himself. Now he's frustrated, lonely, and missing the time with his He wants to make more connection, but persisted to damage his values. I realized I don't want him anymore. Started this idea of completely backfired. He'd stuck in the life he wanted, while I moved on. He thought he'd gain freedom, but instead he lost the one thing he didn't accept. Me. Why did my husband's open marriage idea backfire? When my husband asked for an open marriage, I was crushed. Nothing he was saying I wanted to know. Still terrified of losing him, I reluctantly agreed. From the beginning, he dove into dating, going out constantly, while I stayed behind, broken and searching. I didn't for months, thinking there was no way I could compete, but my sister and best friend urged me to try. When I finally did, I was surprised by the attention I received. Men were interested, and I started dating 2 of them regularly. As I found confidence, joy in these new relationships, my husband's excitement faded. I was down, and soon he was more often, complaining about spending money on women who wanted emotional connection. Meanwhile, I was living the life he had imagined for himself. Now he's frustrated, and missing the time with his There's no large issue, but for me to get it done. I went out and started his idea he gained freedom, but instead he lost the one thing he didn't
Oh shit, I'm so live streaming.
goodness.
My bad,
I
Jay.
love the trolls. Come on, trolls. It's here. What kind of eat? I think a wild guess.
I purposely order meat items so I don't have to share with my vegetarian friend. I have a friend who is a vegetarian. She believes that her money is hers and my money is ours. I love sharing.
Oh, that's what it means.
Share food.
My ass was this.
Ash. Get the steak on the side so we can share. The waiter was like, sure, and I just stared blankly, smilingly fuel. But then, when the fries came, I immediately dumped all the steak on the front and started mixing. She was like, wait, and I said, oh, sorry, and continued eating. She said she'd go back to the food if we were sure. When I said, well, then order it, but she didn't. I was trying to say it right. Waiter said salad and simply said, now, she has some fries for this too. I ignored the tone and just responded cheerily, you should get some, they're good. Hopefully she gets the hints. I purposely ordered meat item. A wife was angry at her husband for coming home late again, so she decided to teach him a lesson. She left a note on the dresser that said, I've had enough. I've left you for good. Don't come after me. Then she hid under the bed. A short while later, her husband came home. She heard him walk through the kitchen and then saw his feet walk into the bedroom. He went over to the dresser and picked up the note. After a moment, he wrote something on it. Then he picked up the phone, dialed it, and said, hey, guess what? She's finally gone for good. You see what he had written? It said, I can see your feet. We're out of breath. Be back in 5 minutes. Oh,
Babe, hurry. This is an emergency. Hello?
just woke up. What happened?
Don't worry about it anymore. We're done.
You're breaking up for me. What was the emergency?
It was done. It was the text, and you failed.
What did I even do?
You took your sweet time responding after we texted you multiple times. 4 messages to be exact. Apparently sleep is more important than your significant other.
I worked a 24-hour shift, and I only slept 3 hours. You kept me up sending 25 TikToks every hour.
Oh, so now it's my fault that you didn't sleep?
Yes?
Clearly you don't know what time management is, even if you were slapped across the face with it.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't respond fast enough for you, but can you understand I work hard for both of us?
Nuh-uh. You're a man. You should have all your priorities straight. Make $200,000 a year minimum. Have 3 mansions. 7 businesses. 25 cars in your garage. And still have all the time in the world to talk to me.
And you feel like you deserve this?
Yes, because I'm a hardworking, independent, self-loving individual.
Okay, sounds good.
Yay, I'm glad you understand. So where's our next vacation?
I just booked you a trip to Dubai.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You're going with someone else. This guy?
Who's this?
Your new play toy. I just sold you.
Wait, what?
You broke up with me. I found someone who can give you what you deserve. He has everything you want.
Don't do this, Jake. I have a family.
Womp womp, I do too. You're not special. Toodles, bitch.
Babe, how I gotta...
What did your parents punish you for that you didn't actually do? When I was about 11 to 12, my mother thought I'd eaten one of her lollies, so she made me throw everything up so she could search my bonnet for them. She had a jar of sweets for Christmas, and one day she gathered me and my 2 siblings around it. There was a chocolate on the very top. Where is it? Which one of you ate it? Each of us denied eating such a thing. At first, she made us all sit in separate rooms and face the corners for 40 minutes, until someone could confess that they did it. We never did, so she moved on to something else. She made us all sit in a row, and gave us each a large cup of salt water. Drink it all. We each nailed down the disgusting, dehydrating, sodium-filled cup, until we started gagging and feeling ill. My sister vomited vomit at first, absolutely everywhere. The immense amount of salt made her throat hurt, absolutely agonizing pain. She was crying as my mom searched through her vomit, scattered all over the floor. My sister hadn't eaten a lolly. Next came my brother, also protective vomited. She did the same, searched through his vomit to find absolutely nothing. I rarely vomit. It's very hard for me to do so. She forced me to down another bottle of salt water. Still no vomiting. While I was drinking the second glass, my dad came home to see what was taking place in his home. My parents got in an argument, and we found out it was my father who took the chocolate. I eventually vomited and was consistently doing so for 2 days, absolutely dehydrated in bed. Never got an apology from my mother. None of my siblings did. What did your parents? I uninvited my family from my satanic wedding. My family are the weird.
What's the most ridiculous thing someone said in a restaurant? I was at a family-friendly restaurant, and this couple at the next table started acting stupid.
Stand on it. Stand on it.
For telling my aunt and family that they've lost access to my sister. A few days ago, I, 23 female, was supposed to pick up my 7-year-old little sister, whom I have sole custody. My aunt, 32 female, overstepped and said she would pick her up and drop her off to me. It took her 45 minutes, even though I live only 10 minutes away and was just 5 minutes away from the pickup location. The next day, my little sister told me that while she was with our aunt, she saw our estranged mother, who was only allowed to see her during supervised visits with CPS. I texted my aunt to confirm this, and she began telling me there was no need for me to know because our estranged mother is still her mom. She verbally attacked me, saying she wasn't wrong for hiding it, invalidating my feelings, and disregarding how crucial it is for me to be aware of these things. The rest of my family, including my grandma, started texting me and took my aunt's side. I told them that they have lost access to my sister for not understanding the sacrifices I've made, not recognizing my commitment to her, and not respecting my wishes. Am I wrong for telling?
My mother saved my life. When I was 16, I had a heated argument with my parents. They wouldn't let me go to a sleepover that everyone else was attending. My boyfriend was there, and his ex had joined last minute, which made me feel even more upset. I was humiliated and angry, convinced that they were the worst parents ever. My mom, who has always been highly intuitive, warned me not to go, saying she had a bad feeling about it, but I was too stubborn to listen. I kept calling my friends, begging them to pick me up, but they said I was too far away, and that maybe next time. While I sulked at home, my friends decided to go for a joyride after the party. They were drinking, driving, and speeding down the road in one of their dad's SUVs, filming it all on Snapchat. I saw how much fun they were having and kept waiting for my parents to let me go. Finally, my time came in, and decided to drop me off at my friend's. That few times, my friends there, they brought an improvement to our hands. I've been here almost to the SUV and crashed into me, which really hurt me. Also, the next week, and looking back, my lost intention to be all of my mother's.
What are you eating? What's the most insane coincidence I've ever seen? I was taking the train home from work during rush hour, and it was absolutely packed. I stood for half an hour being pushed into a corner by a group of girls. Then the train suddenly stopped. Oh my god. My baby sister called me dad. I was 20 when my sister...
Now I'm 30 and she's 10. My mom wasn't in a good place physically or mentally, and my sister's father was a druggie, so I took her in and have been raising her ever since. I did my best to raise her and also completed some college.
What do you want? It's so big, baby. Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Even though she is my sister, the love I have for her would be the love a father has for his kid. I watched her grow up and was there for every single milestone. Most would consider me to be my sister's dad, but my sister grew up with the knowledge I am her big brother, and the reason I take care of her is our mom, and take care of her the way they should. She got more information as she got older. Yesterday, she had a fever. My sister has chronic asthma, and when sick, her asthma is worse. At like 3 a.m., I heard her coughing in her sleep, so I got her nebulizer to give her breathing treatment. I had to wait to take it. She was half asleep, and when she finished, I told her she would go back to sleep. And as I was leaving her room, she said, "Thank you, Dad." My baby sister called me Dad. I was 20 when my sister was born. Now I am 30 and she is 10. My mom wasn't in a good place physically or mentally, and my sister's father was a druggie, so I took her in and have been raising her ever since. I have even paid for it. I did my best to raise her and also completed college at the same time. I have lived opportunities in dating and socializing in my 20s to look after her and worked multiple jobs so I could afford to although she is my sister, the love I have for her would be the love a father has for his kid. I watched her grow up and was there for every single milestone. Most would consider me to be my sister's dad, but my sister grew up with the knowledge I am her big brother, and the reason I take care of her is our mom, and her dad can't take care of her the way they should. She got more information as she got older. Yesterday she had a fever. My sister has chronic asthma, and when sick, her asthma is worse. At like 3 a.m., I heard her coughing in her sleep, so I got her nebulizer to give her a breathing treatment.
Long story. If you don't know the context,
The contacts will find you. That's how Renshaw works. Normally, when a VTuber decides to stop working for their agency, they don't get to go independent as their current identity. Their IP is usually owned by the agency, who hold on to their name, model, mascots, basically everything associated with the VTuber's brand. Now, this isn't the case for me. The company that bought my agency offered me IP ownership in exchange for a 1-year revenue split after I leave, which I'm pretty happy with. But when most VTuber fans hear she's leaving her company, they justifiably presume that the character is being retired. And by most VTuber fans, I also have to include my own mother. Yes, Jen Penrose herself, whose main knowledge of this industry comes from my own YouTube shorts, thought that I would be giving up the Rin Penrose brand. And she was supportive, which is great, but she did have a different concern. Okay, so if you leave Idol, what happens to my IP? What? I'll still paint it Penrose. This is your main problem with the situation? Also, how much money do you think you can make as an ending? Mother, why? I currently work for a VTuber agency. I say currently because in a few months I'm planning to go independent. Our plot story, you don't know the context will find you. That's what Rachel wants. Normally when a VTuber decides to stop working for their agency, they don't get to go independent as their current identity. Their IP is usually owned by the agency, who hold on to their name, model, mascots, basically everything associated with the VTuber's brand. Well, this isn't the case for me. The company that bought my agency offered me IP ownership in exchange for a 1-year revenue split after I leave, which I'm pretty happy with. But
with a hot horse. I ain't talking to you.
Her real name is Clara Boringer, and she's from Germany. And her last name is pretty fitting, considering that her child is also very boring. This is the best way I could describe it.
Shut yourself.
Anyway, she was such a big nerd that she became the lead of Kingdom's R&D department at the age of 8.
Shut yourself right now.
Nominated
I'm done.
Distinguished Inventor Award, which is like the Nobel Prize, but for even bigger. She was then recruited by the Valorant Protocol, becoming their 4th agent. And from there, she basically became Valorant's lead engineer. She invented all sorts of things like the spike diffuser, Deadlock's arm. She even designed the teleporter that they use to travel between the 2 Earths, at least after getting the blueprints from Baguette Boy Chamber. One thing she did not invent was KO, nor is he her sex robot. Bungeon, please seek therapy. I'm scared for your well-being.
What?
This is Killjoy's.
I don't need it.
Did you take my gun? I can't fire. That was yours. I took it for practice.
You're not gonna take these back in a minute. Y'all finna get it in a minute. In a few minutes.
God really handed him the. Did you know you can call AI now?
Skibbity. Signal.
Missing children. What happened? When I was 16, I argued with my mother about loading the dishwasher. She yelled while I stayed silent. They were just dishes. Who cares? With her busy work and my father's full-time job, all the chores fell to me. After years of loading the dishwasher incorrectly, I thought it didn't matter what she thought. When I told her that, she threw me out, and I said I wouldn't come back. She replied that we didn't want me there anyway. I had a job since I was 14 and left without taking anything but my...
This golden retriever is crying in the most pitiful way, and the reason is just too adorable. The dog is staring intently in one direction, wearing a heartbreaking expression and whimpering miserably with moist eyes that look like they're about to shed tears at any moment. He's heartbroken that his dad took away his favorite toy. This golden retriever is crying in the most pitiful way, and the reason is just too adorable. The dog is staring intently in one direction, wearing a heartbreaking expression and whimpering miserably with moist eyes that look like they're about to shed tears at any moment. He's heartbroken.
I'm talking about some Jesus.
This golden retriever is crying in the most pitiful way, and the reason is just too adorable. The dog is staring intently in one direction.
Oh.
My husband put the kids to bed while I made dinner. We had a little date night at home. Date nights are hard to come by around here, so sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And I made one of our favorite recipes on the black stove. Chicken teriyaki stir fry has to be one of my favorite things to make on my black stove, and it's so much easier to make on a black stone. You can totally make this on the stove. I've made this plenty of times on the stove, but ever since I got my black stone, I always do this outside now. I just have so much more room to before they went to bed. I've mentioned doing a little date night at home like this for the past. I'm thinking that I just put my kids to bed without feeding them dinner. If you really think that, you are crazy. My kids are very, very picky. I have tried making this.
What's your most depressing secret? 30 seconds before meeting my future wife, I was on my way to take my wife. I had just moved across the country a few months prior and was living out of my car and $19,000 in debt. Thankfully, I found a job very quickly, but the owner only paid me $6 an hour. I started working 80-hour weeks because I had nothing else in life anymore. And during one particular week, depression hit harder than normal. I would go in early, work late, return to my car. I didn't even eat for several days at a time. During a manic episode, a voice in my head told me life would be better if I was dead. So I grabbed the keys and started the car. I was going to drive off somewhere nearby and end things. I threw my phone down on the passenger seat and it buzzed. I looked at it for a second and it was a message from someone. I didn't recognize the name or number. I thought about it, then realized it was a reply to something I sent a while back on a dating site. I opened her message and there was this picture of her that I'll never forget. Just her in a beautiful dress, looking over her shoulder and smiling. It was enough to make me say, I'll give it one more day. A few days went by and I was finding myself excited to finish the workday so I could get to talk to this girl. We went on our first date 2 weeks later and within several months, we were engaged. We're approaching 10 years of marriage. What's your most depressing secret? 30 seconds before meeting my future wife, I was on my way to take my wife. I had just moved across the country a few months prior and was living out of my car and $19,000 in debt. Thankfully, I found a job.
Fiancé told her friend she misses having sex with her ex, who is an Olympic athlete. Fiancé and I have been together for 4 years. We are actually set to get married at the end of this year, but I found something disturbing in her messages. Yesterday, she had something to do on my computer and forgot web WhatsApp was open. I was just going to close it, but a message with her friend took my eye, which I ended up snooping. They were doing girls talk mainly on the setting stuff. My fiancé was telling her friend that 6 years ago, she had an ex who was an athlete and his stamina was